Alright, in this video we're going to talk about the SQL Azure version of replication. So let's bring up our, not that one, how about that one? This data synchronization services. And if we're on our database here, we can see it's very easily. We just go to data sync, it's one tick down, and there we are. So what can we do? We've already set it up. And you can see if we didn't, we'd have this and we wouldn't be able to see this, and we click on this and have to walk through it. So let's go take a look at the slides. What we'll do with this is we'll walk through it once through the slides, and then we'll set it up. So where are the slideshow, and where is from the beginning, and there's our beautiful logo. And so SQL Azure Data Sync is the vernacular. It's a cloud-based synchronization services, and there's another four-letter acronym from the guys in Seattle, SADS. Now, it's not really SADS. It's not really SAD at all. It's really a pretty cool service. But again, probably not their vernacular. Probably not what they use. All right, so SQL Azure Data Sync enables you to easily create bidirectional synchronizations. All right, yes, replication without a single line of code. Yes, it does. We don't have to write a single line. It's pretty cool. SQL Azure Data Sync supports synchronizations between multiple SQL Azure databases. Yes. So if we have multiple servers, multiple clouds, we can easily sync those databases up. If we want to sync between our cloud and our on-premise, that's pretty straightforward too. So, and you can see here, right? Sync between on-premise, sync between Azure. Those are our two options, right? And again, in the last bullet point there, the above pick is the home page, right? That's what I showed you before, the home page for our data sync efforts. So here we go. We set it up. Again, when you first provision is another one of their new words. Provision means just to get ready for synchronization, to get ready to move your information to the cloud. We need to provision it. All right. So we actually have to turn it on. And here we get this little select a region, and once that's completed, we can create these sync groups. All right. The data sync group screens allow us to set a name for the synchronization group, define the topology, and define the frequency the topology should be synced. All right. And I said there at the bottom, this is cloud-based synchronization. All right. So what we do here, we give it our group at the very top there. You can see it's kind of grayed out. So a sync group name, Atlanta. We now need to create a synchronization group. We give it a name. We click to add our on-premises, right? You can see here we've got our cloud, our on-premises, so we add on-premise. Again, this is done via one of those, I call these the web wizards. And again, we continue to toggle through this. This is a little, we've got some steps here. All right, it's not difficult. However, it can be, it's not also a one-step process. All right, so on this next screen, we are instructed to download our SQL, our client. All right, what the download does is prepare our on-premise database to talk to the cloud. All right, and we've got to download some software. It's a little dinky software thing, but we'll show you in a second. We need to give the agent a name, and then we generate a key, and we'll see what to do with that key in a minute. So once we choose to install the agent, you get an on-premise database. We are prompted to install a new agent. Yes, the agent is software we install on our on-premise computer, all right, or on the server that's going to be participating in the synchronization. And once the agent is installed, we have to register it. Yes, we do. And we can see, now this can be a little tricky. So we go to register it, and here we need to be very specific about the name of the user and the name of the machine. Again, we'll see that in a second. It's very particular about what you put in here. Alright, so the steps you through the wizard and the instructions. Here I mentioned the instructions tell you on each step exactly what to do, which is really nice. So this is actually what we get on the web wizard, and it says add a SQL Server database to the Synch group. Here's what you do. Prerequisites, right? Launch the data sync. So it's nice. It's right there. It tells you what to do. All right. So add our database successful. It will say reachable. Look over here in our. This is the wizard. What we downloaded in the previous page. We talked about the Azure Data Sync service. This is it. That's all there is to it. You can see there's not a lot to it, which is nice. So on our on-premises databases, after you can see it, not deployed. Now, note we have to deploy when we're done. It just doesn't start working. You've got to deploy to get it to initiate. All right. So after this, it's time to add our Azure database. I notice it's asking us to create a hub. All right. So here's up here. What's a Synch hub? Synch hub has to be a SQL Azure database, and the hub is the server database to the Synch group. All right, and it must be an Azure database. All the data is synchronized through the hub database. All right, well, that's great news. Therefore, it is your advantage at both latency and cost to locate the hub in the data center where your most traffic is generated, or which you have the least amount of latency, network latency. We'll talk about that later, and there is a way we can check that. All right, so once the head is it's like going to the bathroom. Once the hub is set up, it cannot be changed to a different password or removed. Alright, so make sure you pick your hub wisely. So once we do that, we go through that, we need to tell it what we want synchronized, right? So once we have our on-premise database and our Azure database defined, we need to tell it what to sync. We also need to configure the conflict resolution, which is not on this page. This pick right here is this. Pick on the right. That's why I said pick on the right here. This is where we need to tell it what we want to synchronize with. The pick for the conflict resolution we'll see in a second. All right, and it just conflict resolution says if someone enters data at the same location, right? Someone enters the exact same thing at the Azure location and at the on-premises location, we need to know who wins in that scenario, right? Who gets the data inserted. Alright, so we are now ready to deploy our changes, and at the bottom, again at the top of this, you'll see I didn't disappear. Come on, mouse. Okay, well I didn't copy and paste it correctly because I wanted you to see this provisioning. We're getting ready. I've hit the button up here that says deploy. Alright, so the deploy button on the ribbon, we'll see in a minute, and you notice the provisioning process is underway. Alright, that's good news. So we've completed our data sync setup, and this is what it looks like, right? The status should be good. The last sync between these two tables. We're here with on-premise, and we're here with Azure. That's good news. End of the slideshow. Now let's go do it between here and here. Now, this computer here I've not set it up with, so we'll have to go through and do the whole process. So, what table can we? I mean, guess we can try to do it with address. Let's see, I have the address down here, and there might be some key issues we might have to work out, but let's just start the setup process, and if it doesn't work, we'll just do it to set it up with a strip down table. I'll strip down a table, and we'll just do it to make sure that the process works. So, time, alright, we got a minute or two. We don't want to hit this one too lengthy. So let's go to our portal, right? And let's go. I want to sync between on-premise and Azure. So I click sync group name. How about Atlanta? All right. Specify. We go to the next one. Let's pull this down. So it says click to add a database. All right. So no, I want a new one. All right. So let's click to add a new one. Next. Install a new agent. Yes. Next. And it says here is our download client sync agent. So we want to do that. And we hit data sync agent license terms. Nope. We're fine with the license terms. we want to download the agent, so we're downloading it. Pretty straightforward stuff to this point, huh? Again, I mentioned over here how nice is it that on window here that it just tells us what to do. Download, alright, specify unique name. So we just click on it. Yes, I want to run it. And the installer will step you through the process. That's great. Of course, I agree. Oh, this is new. So SP1, Microsoft SP1 System CLR types. Okay, that's interesting. This is new. I've not seen this yet. Download and install the shared management objects. MSI. Alright, well that's cool. We'll stop the video here and I will download and install those so that we can continue forward. Alright. It's good because it tells us, it's very specific on what it tells us to do, right? It tells us what to install, what to download. And we'll do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, let me stop.